Oh yeah, this is definitely the ship combat that I saw so much about. Oh shit, we're getting multiple targets. Awesome, this is so cool. So this is my first ship-based combat encounter. We're gonna go through the tutorial here, which is gonna be awesome. All right, you've engaged the enemy in space combat. Battles in space and on the surface of planets work quite differently from one another. In space combat, the battlefield is separated into 3 zones marked by various degrees of brightness. Number 1 is the acceleration zone. Number 2 is the mid-movement zone. Oh my god, there's layers of complexity here. Number 3 is the end movement zone. Ships travel at high speeds even during combat, which is why both your ships and those of your enemies must move a certain distance each round. You can only end your turn once your ship has traversed this minimum required distance upon entering the end movement zone. You know, I played there's a Battlestar Galactica game that I played earlier this year. I did a Let's Play series on it. I cannot remember the name of it, but it had a very complex ship combat system where you had to take a minimum movement as well. So I wonder if that's very similar here. Well, we'll see it in action here in a minute. I don't see what they mean by colored zones, though. I guess we'll see that here in a minute. To move the ship, click left mouse button on any accessible cell in the battlefield. Once you do, you will see a hologram of the ship that will allow you to evaluate the efficiency of future attacks and actions from that position, just as you would in regular combat. Click the left mouse button again to confirm your choice and command the ship to move. Alternatively, you can click right mouse button to remove the hologram. Alright, so... Oh, this must be the colors. So I'm assuming this is that acceleration, this is the mid, this is the end. Alright, and now down here we've got Void Ship Ram. The ship rams an enemy, dealing 10 damage. After ramming an enemy and until the end of its turn, the flagship is slowed and unable to use prow-mounted weapons. Then we have a Mezzoa lance weapon. Oh, so it's... Dude. Oh, wow. Oh, so there's angles of... Oh, this is going to be super complex. So there's angles of attack depending on what weapons you're using. Alright, those are... The lance weapon is up front. The torpedo tubes... Looks like they're only directly around me, so they have to be right up front. Restart the shields. That's going to reduce the speed and firing range. How do you see your shields? Because down here is a... It says 120. Is that your shields? Oh, and there's even slots. Look at this down on the bottom, guys. There's slots for... Yeah, Greg, I haven't had any coffee either, and it's a lot of... There's a lot of complexities here. I guarantee you this is going to be a learning process beyond just the initial tutorial. But look at that. There's slots down on the bottom, too, for... Supreme Commander, Master Cannoner, Shield Master, Master of Maneuvers, Warp Channeler, Master of Etherics. So I need to slot people into those positions as well. So there's going to be like officers. I'm assuming they're going to bring buffs. I wonder if they bring additional abilities. I don't know. So that's a short-range broadside to port. Short-range broadside to starboard, and... This one goes in any direction other than behind. So it says... Let's just try this out. Alright, attacking with weapons. Your ship is equipped with an arsenal of weapons which differ in terms of range of fire and offer you a variety of ways to assault your opponents. The ship can attack with each of its weapons once per turn. These can be fired as the ship moves, as attacking does not end the ship's movement. What? These can be fired as the ship moves. But it's turn-based. That doesn't make any sense. Each of the ship's weapons is a separate attack action on the panel at the bottom of the screen. You can click on it to see the firing arc. Consider what position on the battlefield would be most advantageous for your ship. Select an attack action on the panel to attack the enemy. Each turn you can use one of your ship's attacks once. Maneuver your ship in battle and attack with different weapons to make the most out of your ship's capabilities. Okay. Well, let's try the lance weapon. Some ships are protected by shields. To deal damage to this enemy, you must first pierce the shields. 2 shield arrays cover the ship's sides, 1 protects its bow, and 1 its stern. When facing an enemy ship equipped with shields, choose your angle of attack wisely and direct your fire at a side where the shields are weakened or completely depleted. How do you tell? Is that the gray icon they're showing me that's around the green icon? Note that enemies' shields recover each round. Notice that your ship is also protected by shields. If the enemy attacks you from a side where the shields are weakened and depleted, your ship will take damage. Flagship's damage shields do not recover. Instead, they can be restored using the restore, which I saw that earlier. Restoring the shields reduces your combat efficiency. Copy that. So if I do the torpedo tubes, it doesn't do anything because they're not far enough. Oh, and then probably I could go ahead and choose to ram it as well. Oh no, because it's slightly, my angle of attack is slightly wrong. All right, so definitely that's what that white bar represents. Is the shields. Panda Vision said his forward shield on. Yeah. Greg says looks like the scalloped edges must be the shield strength indicator. Correct. All right, I think because that's it. How do I end my turn? Because I don't have any other attacks and I can't... Oh, I can move a little bit more. But... Can I do a broadside here? Okay. That's all I could do this turn. All right. All right. Toasted that, buddy. So now we need to swing around here. Like so. Probably can't hit him with anything right now. So I would end my turn. Okay, so there's some complexities here because you've got to worry about positioning, and it's not as easy as just like, because there's momentum, right? Very interesting. So I'm assuming we just keep circling each other, and it's going to be really hard to, unless we chose to do a run and then turn around. So they're going to circle around again. Oh, what did he just... Okay, that's a little extra. Oh, and he's out of range of all my attacks this round. So you know what I need to do? Let's just, let's get some distance here. He'll have to chase me. This is interesting. Okay. Alright, we can deal with this. I was trying to turn around completely, but it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get him. Oh, I can get him from here. Got him! The battle is over. I got XP towards rank 1. This is an indicator of the overall power of the Von Valancia's flagship, the efficiency of its combat posts, the durability of its hull, and the might of its weapons. Prevailing over enemies in space battles advances the flagship's level, which enhances its parameters and unlocks new abilities, post improvements, and component upgrades. How cool is that? And I got scrap and some ancient machinery as a trophy. So I wonder if, because I saw the postings, but it hasn't prompted me to do anything about the postings yet. So I wonder if that's part of the tutorial or if that comes later. I'm thinking that comes later because we're now in open space. So that's essentially the ship combat tutorial for new players. I'm writing this down. Get a timestamp here. That was really cool, guys. Like that's a new, that was new for me because I haven't seen that. I know it was there, but I never saw it in beta. Awesome. That was a really interesting. I'm just imagining the complexities of space-based combat on top of everything else, because over here, I know because I browsed it earlier, you have all of these, you can upgrade, you know, your engine, your shields, Auspex armor, port starboard, dorsal prow. You can actually upgrade your RAM, so it can be upgraded right now. I can upgrade the hull, and it requires the, oh, so that scrap we just looted is used to increase your hull integrity. And then you can upgrade the ship, which is later on, and then you have your posts, and so you can put people in the posts. So I'm going to dive into this a little bit more later on. I don't know if it's going to give me a tutorial for all of this stuff, but yeah, there's some complexities to ship-based combat. Rhinox says, good morning, Ren. I'm curious if the ship completely repairs at the end of combat or if you need to repair. I don't know. It didn't mention anything about that, so I have no clue on that front.